So, welcome back everybody. You can't tell, but I have several people sitting here. This is my show team. I don't want to turn it around because then I'll have to reset it up, but just mark my words, I promise you. There's several people sitting here, so I'm going to look at you and look at the reason I'm actually supposed to be doing this. So, today we're going to talk about horse psychology, and I want you guys to understand, and I know like some of you guys when your horses aren't listening to you or aren't doing what you want, that I don't think that you kind of understand how they think or how they look at stuff. Or when you are, riding your horse around and they've passed the same thing 5,000 times, but this time they got scared of it. So everybody gets frustrated, some tears, some anger, some bad words come out. But I think that if you kind of understood a little bit more of how they think, that it would help you not take it so badly or offensively, but also how to work through the situations. So for our Patreon members, I'm going to keep flashing the exact same things that they're looking at. I'm going to flash it at you so you don't have to look at my face the whole time. But, okay, so this stuff is not mine. Most of this is Pat Parelli's. He has an amazing line. He came up with all of this. It's he calls it horseonailty. So this is not my stuff. The last one, the last 2 pages, it took years and years and years to find this one, because this is the horseonailty chart, actually riding. So I was like really super excited when I found this. I found this like last year. And then your last page is classical dressage. So I tell everybody that even when because I have trainers come to me to learn, and I tell everyone that you've learned, for the most part, you've learned everything from someone, but you make it your own. So I've ridden with tons of people that I really didn't agree, especially in dressage, I really didn't agree with hardly anything that they said, but I was able to take out one thing out of it, okay? But I would play along, and I would give everything I had, even though I knew my mentor, if they want me to do this, I know Retta is gonna be like going crazy, because I know that's not right. But I would go in and try it. So how people become big time trainers is they have worked with all these people, and they take and they take and they take and they discard what doesn't work for them, and you make your own. This plus some double Dan horsemanship and Lepazan stallions is my methods, okay? So when I teach you guys lessons, I'm working these 2 charts every lesson, and every training horse that I have in my hands, I'm working these 2 charts, okay? So I'm working the horse psychology part for you and them, because we'll talk about that in a second. So I'm working the horse psychology for you and them. I have to think 5 steps ahead, because, if you keep doing that, he's gonna buck you off in a minute. You kick him like that again, you're gonna go to Canada quick, okay? And then I'm working this chart when you're in saddle. So when you're going around and I say, okay, get ready to canter, and then you hear me say, nope, come back, you lost him. It's because you probably lost his shoulder, and now you can't work your chart, okay? So let me teach you how to actually work these charts, okay? So now we shall turn this around. Okay, so the cool thing is, again, this is Pat Parelli. It's called horseonailty. So none of this is mine. Don't sue me, Pat. We'll give you free CBD. We were just talking about CBD, 2 weeks ago with Pat Parelli, the guy that came up with all this. So, okay, so we're gonna take this off. The cool thing is how they came up with this, and don't look at it too much. How they came up with this is actually a really cute story. They gave a psychiatrist a horse who had never ever touched a horse before. And to hear her tell the story is absolutely hilarious, because she said, I pull up and they're like, hello, Kathy, or whatever her name was, nice to meet you, da-da-da. Here's your horse, and here's your level 1, and we'll see you tomorrow. And she's like, what do I do with this? I don't know how to lead it. So she's like, even trying to figure out how to lead it. So they kind of left her on her own with these videos, and she had to figure it out. So what she noticed is that horses think so much more similarly, I can never say that word, similarly, than to people than you would think. And that's why people are so connected with them, they feel so bonded with them. It's because you actually kind of do think the exact same way that they do. They just think like kids. So when I'm talking to a horse, I'm picturing, how old are you?
11.
I'm talking to an 11-year-old. Most horses that I'm talking to an 11-year-old. If they're younger, how old are you? 9. I'm talking to a 9-year-old because I've taught all of you guys. So I know how you think. And you're about 9 too? Okay, so like around about 8, 9, something like that? Yeah? So for like how you guys in your lessons, how you think, like a 3-year-old that's been started is, in my mind, about a 9-year-old. And you're about a 13-year-old and how they are developed. And now if they're under 3 or under, now I'm talking to what? Like a 6-year-old where they understand but they don't? Make sense? If they're brand new, they're 5. Make sense? Good? Okay. So when you're talking to them, now you have to imagine that you have a foreign kid. It's never been to this country at that age. They don't know how to say apple. They don't know, and if you've ever been to foreign countries, even our plugs are different. Our toilets are different. If you've ever been overseas, it's not a handle like this. You walk in, it's 2 buttons. What are the buttons for? You gotta ask. You know, a bidet. Do we have that? No. Let your parents explain that. Okay. So when you go, they don't know what this is. So the same curiosity that you have, either you're all curious, what is this? Or you're scared, like, oh God, I'm not touching that. Make sense? Good. All right, so continuing forward. What she found is that she works the exact same chart that if you lay down on a psychiatrist's couch, they work the exact same chart with the horses that you would people. Okay, so how they work it down for horses and people is you're going to break it down to, and here's your stuff, you're going to break it down to a left brain and a right brain. Okay, so a left brain is dominant, tolerant, confident, calm, brave. Okay, your right brain is nervous, fearful, reactive, not confident, submissive. Make sense? Okay, we all know horses like both of these, right? Okay, now we're gonna break it down to extrovert. An extrovert is high energy, more go than whoa, tendency to run. I know if I was a person, I'm right here, just so you know. Okay, I used to be there when I was young, but no, I'm here now. Okay, so then we come to an introvert. An introvert is a low energy, tend to stop, more whoa than go, slow. Make sense? All right, so we've got that. Now what do we do with it? Now we're gonna break it down. So I want to tell you that your horse does not have to be one of these. They can be several of these. So you know that you're a true natural horsemanship person or a Parelli person. If you came up and let's say that I was talking about Irish, I'd say, hi, my name is Melissa Ashcraft. I have a left brain introvert with the tendency of being a left brain extrovert. Good. So Prodigy and Irish are the only horses that I've ever met to this day that were the most extreme on all of them. And I'll show you, there's a chart that I actually literally charted with both of them. And it was really cool to see how the games, the more and more I did the games, more and more I did groundwork, every 2 months you're supposed to come back and do this chart. It was actually really neat to see. But when I did this, they were, I was like, oh, shit. Oh, yeah, they were like everywhere. Good. Okay, so let's break these down. I want to say that I'm really good with all of them, but these 2 are my favorite. Good. They know, most of my trainers, which is weird, they usually like these. I like these. They know that the bigger the jerk is, the more Melissa's going to like it. Because for some reason, I'm really good with these horses, and these are most of my performance horses. Like I can make them do, because they like treats and they like the motivation. So I can make a horse like this walk a high wire if you give me enough time. Where these guys, you're always talking them off the ledge. I just performed with a horse like this in Pennsylvania. And it was a lot of anxiety and stress because like this, all I have to do is be like, hey, get the hell up there, you know, and they go. This, you're like, I'm gonna need you to breathe. Like, there's gonna be about 10,000 people out there. just breathe. Good? Okay, so, but Retta, my mentor, is completely opposite. He wants this, because you blow on them and they move. I don't want that in front of 10,000 people. I'd rather like, you know? So it just, everybody has a different thing of what they like. And throughout the years, I've been tracking to see if people match their horses, and they actually do match their horses. I've been kind of doing my own little test, and people tend to, sometimes they're unmatched, but when you know what you're doing, they use, it's like a Labrador and like the dogs, and it's kind of cool. A lot of times people look like their horses. If you really start watching, because I've done that little mental thing, it's like where before I meet people, like number one, I want to see like how they match, but then the minute I meet you, I try to picture what your horse looks like to see like if it, you know, matches. Okay, so here's my favorites. So this is a left brain extrovert. So for here, I want you guys to go to the second page. Good. Did you get your packet? Yeah, there's a packet. So you can take this home and read this more. I'll explain it to why you're here. But so your left brain extrovert, okay? They are energetic, exuberant, charismatic, mischievous, tendency to bite, strike, playful, mouthy, naughty, bossy, willful. Sold. I love it. Perfect horse for me. Not the perfect horse for anybody else, okay? So, this horse is supposed to be like, woohoo, I love life in this picture. But this horse also, to me, is a lot of them like Pride, or if you guys remember Bubba, the Rainer, or Chapman. Bossy, willful, bite, strike. Sometimes they don't mean it. Woohoo, I love life. Sometimes these are the horses that are a little aggressive, right? And I'll teach you how you work with these horses differently. And I like to use Dulce Vita and Prodigy for this. They're both Frisians, they both look exactly the same. Dulce Vita, I think I smacked once in my life, and that's when he ran me over. Prodigy, opposite. Prod, I swear if he introduced himself, he's gonna say like, hi, my name's Damn It Prod. Because I growl at him, damn it, Prod! You know, and he goes, no. But Dulce, and then like, but I gotta back it up, Prod! Stop it, you know, because he's this and this still to this day. You know, but Prodigy, to ride him on a 20-meter circle, he is literally the hardest horse I've ever worked. And I've ridden a lot of horses. But Prodigy to ride a 20-meter circle to this day, in one 20-meter circle, he will go through every one of these at least twice. No, sorry, in one 20-meter circle, at least once, to be honest, where he's at now. And you have to be good, because he'll be big, bold in your hands, and then he'll come around here and suck back, and he's afraid. So you got it, like when he throws out an arrow or a card, you got like, I got another card, go ahead, keep going, you know? So it's kind of addicting and fun, but it'll make you cry. It made me cry a lot of times, just saying. Okay, all right, so we'll come forward. It'll make you, like Prodigy made me feel like I didn't know how to ride anymore. And if I put as much time as I did on Prodigy, I swear I'd be in the Olympics right now, because, but whatever. Okay, so this is also my favorite horse. All of my lesson horses are here. And this is, I would rather my horses tell you, no, I'm not doing it, than this, because this is unsafe. So here you guys might get frustrated and be like, oh God, he won't do this. Because I choose this. There's whole different alternatives that once they come here, you kind of can't talk them off the ledge. With this guy, you're like, damn it, Arrow, or Bravo. Or, yeah, Bravo. I got a lesson for us. His name is Bravo, because he's always in trouble. Bravo, get out. Okay, so this is Bravo. Okay, easily bored, pushy, argumentative, tendency to buck and charge, stubborn, food-focused, disinterested, unmotivated, lazy, non-responsive, low-key. Okay? So this horse is supposed to be sitting on his butt with his tongue out, like, I'm not doing it. Okay? All right. So we're going to come forward. Please. Okay, this horse, you know. This is the most dangerous horse, by the way. But this is what everybody's kid's horse is. This is Nemo. Good. Like he looks so perfect. Well, now. This is the Nemo that I saw the other day, but this is, who is this? I'm trying to think of a horse that you guys know. Major-ish. We'll get to it and you guys can help me figure out who. This is Arrow. All day long, this is Arrow. Good, where you think they're so good and they're so quiet, but you have to watch their body language and their eyes, because they're dying inside, and then they stand quiet. You do the wrong thing, or go to tighten them, or Charity, and boom, they blow up, flip over, bite you, whatever. Okay, so this horse, when they get off the trailer, it's breathing fire. You know that bad boy's hot. So coming in hot. So he's got wheels on his legs. Okay, so this horse is impulsive, can't stand still, fractious, panicky, overreactive, hyper alert, tendency to buck and rear out of fear. This one's out of being stubborn and naughty. This one's out of fear. Difference. Good. Forwardaholic, flighty, high-headed, bracy. So this type of horse, you will never ever see me hit this horse. Ever. And that's what I was gonna say, the difference of Prodigy and Dulcie. Dulcie's over here and Pride's over here. So this type of horse, you just saying, hey, is enough to shut them down, okay? But this type of horse, the faster you let them move and the faster you let them go, the faster their mind, this is all horses, but especially them, the faster their mind's gonna run like a casino machine. So sometimes you have to, if you ever see me work with them, sometimes you'll see me just go one time, boom, and that's about the most I'll do to them, because if not, you'll freak them out. But it's kind of like, your pilot on a plane comes out and they're freaking out and you're like, dude, smack, you know how to do this. Go fly the plane. You know what I mean? So sometimes, but that's probably the most I'll ever do to a horse like that. Okay? So last part. This is a right brain introvert. Okay? That was a right brain extrovert, by the way. Tense, can't think, distrustful, unpredictable, tendency to kick out of fear, freeze and then explodes, compliant, shy and timid, hesitant, shuts down. So like I said, this horse, they say, is supposed to look like a shy little lily that just looks so quiet, right? Okay, so now that we know this, what do we do with it? This horse, extrovert, you've got to be quick, like Major. When he's coming around a corner and he's telling you he's going this way, you got 2 seconds. You're already probably 2 seconds too late. You better get him over there, right? Because where's Major at? Have you figured it out yet? Good. And he's got a little bit of tendency over here, but he's mostly over here. I would put Major in 3 of these. Okay, so you have to be quick. Good. He's like, hey, nope, get over. Quick responses. This one, opposite. Time and slow. You have to back off. For both of these guys, you have to back off for different reasons. This one, you have to do a lot of back off, turn, walk away, let them know. Like let's say you're putting them in a horse trailer. Most people, when you like fight with them to get in the horse trailer, they're terrified, yada, yada, yada. They close up the doors and lock them in. This horse, that is the absolute worst thing that you can do. Because you will have problems getting that horse in the trailer next time. This horse has to know that he can get out of that trailer and walk around and live, and then he'll get back in. Make sense? For this one, it won't matter as much. But this one, if you didn't do that, oh, you're in big trouble. Make sense? Okay, so continuing on. Time and slow. Now, when we break it down, how do we work with these horses? So in your guys' lessons, I do not work your horses the exact same way. And if you've ridden enough horses, you'll know that. But again, most of my horses are about the same. But I won't work Nemo's lessons the same way that I would work Bravo's lessons. Bravo's lazy and naughty. Nemo is quiet and responsive, right? So I have to, if I worked in the same way, Nemo would be fried up, right? Because Bravo, you're just trying to get to go, get to go, get to go. Nemo has no problem going. He goes. So, make sense? Okay, so this horse you have to play with. why I get most of these horses in training and why they're my favorite is they're usually really smart. They're the smartest horses, but they're misunderstood. And every performance horse I had, their owners hated them because they were so naughty. They just didn't have a drive, but they're too smart, and they started churning on everybody because that was their game, that was their fun. Make sense? So, but these horses I get into training a lot because they feel unappreciated. They're lazy and they're slow. This is a good example. They're lazy and they're slow. So most people, what they'll do is they'll fight to get the canter. As soon as they get the canter, they're like, oh God, I worked really hard for this. They're gonna canter 5 circles. In the horse's mind, he's like, yep, you know what? This is why I didn't canter in the first place. So it's easier for them. And then most of the time you yank them to a stop and you don't pet them. So to them, it's easier to have you smack them and just stand there because you're gonna give up smacking them because you're gonna feel like you're beating them, right? And then you're just gonna give up. So they're more than willing to take a couple than to canter for half an hour and not be appreciated. Right? And that's why I get along. If I was a horse, I'd be here. Because I will work all day for you, but I match energy. If you don't feel like I'm appreciated or make me feel like that, because all I want is a thank you or an acknowledgement. I'll stay for 3 nights all night long, and all I want is that's beautiful, thank you. I would be done. She's my best friend. Ask her. Good? Okay. So they need you to play. Keep it fun, move on, and acknowledge them and let them know that they did great. This horse will do anything for you, okay? This horse is the same way, but he needs you to have variety and move on a lot more, right? So this horse is like an Invictus or Prod. They will literally, if you keep them on a cone for too long, I'm not joking, you will watch them drag the kid over and kick the cone and look at you. And that's them to me saying, I'm done with this shit. I've gone around this circle 5 times. I ain't doing it anymore. You make me do it again, I'm dragging little Betty over to the gate one more time, right? So for these guys, like I say, I work your lessons differently. For these guys, I'll make you do figure 8 a couple times. Perfect, 20-meter circle, now trot out. Okay, good. Do that a couple times, and now your lessons. Good, come around, 20-meter circle, trot out, perfect, 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 stop, back up, good. Pet him, rub him, and you guys know I always say pet him and rub him, acknowledge him, right? Okay, if I did that to them too soon, they would be a nervous wreck and fall apart, okay? So, what these guys need is they need safety. They need approach and retreat. If you stick on a pattern for too long, they'll feel like they've done something wrong and they will panic. Okay, so what they do is you put them on just one of the figure 8. We're gonna stay here, sweetheart. And you're just gonna walk and you figure 8, do a couple, get out, rub them. And just, because if you stay on it, they're gonna melt down. Good, and then now we come back to the same figure 8. And then walk out, rub them. After a little bit of that, now we can add a 20-meter circle. So these guys, I did it quickly. These guys have to, like, way longer time, okay? So, continuing forward. So some of you guys might be bored, but some of us love this stuff. Because, you're welcome. And that's why she's my best friend, because she knows how to work that. So these were all supposed to be, so last part. These guys need comfort. A lot of rubbing, a lot of retreat, okay? So these guys, at the end of the day, left brain horses need variety and for you to move on. A right brain horse needs consistency, repetition, and retreat. And like I told you guys before, the minute I rub them, say thank you. And by the way, viewers are at home, don't pat your horse. If you want to irritate me, I don't even care if I don't know you. Like if you, like you can be halfway across that ring. If you want to irritate the shit out of, number one, just don't pet your horse, because I do notice that, even if it's another performer. It's like, oh God, rub him, say thank you. But if you want to irritate me, do this. Oh, I hear it, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Because that's what football players do. That's not what prairie animals do. And they actually, thank God, did study like a year or two ago and released it all over Facebook, and I shared it everywhere. because they actually did studies that when you rubbed your horse, it brought their heartbeat down, and when it brought their heartbeat up, it made them nervous. So like I made sure to share that everywhere because I've been saying that forever. Okay, so next page. We're almost done. So we're on this page. So this was supposed to print in colors, but it does say right here blue, and then it'll say purple. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our extroverts. And why I like this chart is because this is the only chart that I found that shows you the good and the bad. All of these are always for the bad. This one actually tells you the good qualities of them. Okay, so the good qualities of a left brain extrovert, and this little horse says let's dance, says desirable. Blues are expressive, playful, energetic, and friendly partners. Okay, now here's the undesirable part. Instead of saying let's dance, now they're saying shove over, major. Good. Undesirables of a blue is they're bossy, they're dominant, they're pushy, and they're intimidating. Good? So, okay? All right. So, now we're going to talk about the goods of a left brain introvert. Desirables. This horse is saying, you can take me anywhere. Bam. Desirable. Purples are quiet, unflappable, steady, solid partners. Good. Least desirable. Speak to the hoof. Undesirable. Purples. Stubborn, incentive, unmotivated, and frustrated. Okay? So here we go. These guys. Right brain extrovert. They see all. Desirable. Reds are highly intuitive, perceptive, sensitive, energetic partners. So these horses are the ones that would live in the wild. My horses would be dead. Good. Okay? Just to let you know. Mine would be like, hey, what's that? Or they just wouldn't move and care. These guys are still alive, just so you know. Okay. So, undesirables is get me out of here. They are reactive, spooky, shy, and fearful. Okay? Last, you've got your right brain introverts. You can count on me. Positive yellows are reliable, sensitive, calm, quiet partners. Good. The undesirables are, I'm out of here. They're aloof, unpredictable, explosive, and insecure. Okay? So we all have friends like that, correct? Correct. Okay, so let's talk just a little bit about how your horse thinks. So earlier I told you that we all get frustrated when they're in the arena and they have passed through this 20-meter circle over and over and over again every day, and every day they're nervous about it, and one day they're just so crazy you don't understand. He was just in here yesterday and he's fine. Okay, so they are reactive to the weather, and we like to put excuses on them, but as somebody that grew up in the horse business my entire life, I know on a cold, when I wake up in the morning and it is cold, wet, and you add a little bit of wind, I let my dogs out and I instantly say, shit. Here we go. And the higher the wind, the more my day is going to be fantastic. Here we go. Good. Because they feel that. On a brisk day in the spring and the fall, it's like game on, ride your dragons, people, here we go. Good. Because they reacted. But the wind also, I don't know, that's for a smart kids video, that is not for our video. I'm a horseonailty person. So, barometric pressure, that all stuff really actually does matter. Okay, but the way that they think as being a prey animal is, I always make people walk through this scenario. We pay to go to a haunted house. So we know, good, October 31st, it's Halloween season. We're going to go to our haunted house. We're going to pay our tickets. We're standing in line. This is a personal story. Standing in line. I hear the chainsaw guy go for hours. Good. Go through. When it's time for the chainsaw, I am the first one to part the seas through 4 grown men. Boom. Done. We're out. Good. They couldn't even, they were all about Tim size. They didn't even know how I pushed their asses so much, but it was like, nope, sorry about my language. You guys are used to it. Okay, so they didn't even understand how I did it because we are gone. boom, okay? And we paid for that, and we know that's gonna happen. Horses, I actually feel bad for, because they didn't sign up for this. They didn't sign up to be a dressage horse. And that's why, like, I love the saying that horses, being with the horse is borrowed freedom, it's borrowed time. Choose wisely what you do with it. Good. So every one of you, I'm sure, I know, every one of you, I have gotten smart and snappy. If you pulled them too hard or you kicked them too hard, I have gotten snappy with every one of you. No, do not do that. Good? Because they have the same feelings and emotions and stuff that we do, right? Now, if it's deserved, when they're here and they know better, oh, I'm the first one. But what I do is I go suggest, ask, tell, promise. That's how I know I'm fair. I put on my cue a little bit. I'm suggesting you go this way. I'm telling you to go this way. This is for these guys. I'm asking you to go this way. Boom. Get your butt over there. Thank you. Good? Okay. So, especially for these guys, let's talk about the haunted house. When we're going through a haunted house, would you rather be in front, middle, or the back if there's 3 people? We'll say 4. Where?
Middle.
Middle. Why?
The rain gets you from behind.
Mm-hmm. And then you don't want to be the one leading because you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Yes? Good? Okay. Does everybody feel that way? Raise your hand if you would want to be in the front. Only if you have good bolting techniques. Good? Okay. Raise your hand if you want to be in the middle. Okay. Raise your hand if you want to be in the back. Great girl. Because I know when I've been in all 3 spots. I know when I'm in the back, I'm like, whoa, and I'm plowing through. When I'm in the front, oh, you better move your butt because we are, when Melissa leads, we walk and we go, and this is where, but I hold on, and we better go, okay? But in the middle, you feel secure, right? So that's how we have to help our horses get through all of these haunted houses. And when I tell you guys all the time, you're leaving them alone, you're dropping them, you're hanging them, stop freezing. It's because when you freeze and something scary happens, it's like the bad guys came out and we all froze. Now, she is my best friend. She can tell you that is when Melissa does have good instincts, I take over. Don't freeze. Move. You know what I mean? Somebody has to ride out of it. Someone has to take control. If not, we're going to be stuck in the corner and Scarface is coming our way, right? No, fight or flight. And that's how horses are as well. They're fight or flight. And it just depends on your personality what you're going to match up with. Make sense? Good. Okay, so when you're riding your horse and they're going around the arena over and over and over again, and 3 times in a row, boom, that cat just jumped on the wall, what your horse basically is telling you is like, I told you something was going to happen and you didn't listen to me, right? So that's where your guiding skills have to come in. If a friend came up to you and is having a nervous breakdown, panicking, are you going to soothe them and say, it's fine, let me help you through this, you didn't do anything wrong, let me help you through this? Or are you going to go, and run? Like, oh my God, problems. Like, Emily would do that. But Jesus, you probably wouldn't have a lot of friends. Or are you going to yell at them because they got scared? You're probably going to soothe them and help them, right? So I need you guys to understand, Nora, this is for you because you get frustrated. When your horses are nervous and they're spooky and they're freaking out, they feel they are prey or they're the herd animals. They need a leader. And if you don't lead them, they will flight or fight, they will take over, and they will lead the herd. Does that make sense? But they would rather, because they're herd animals, be in the middle of the haunted house. Okay? So long story short, when you guys are riding and I say, don't freeze, help them out of it. We were just talking about this today, right? Don't freeze, help them. Add their leg. That's the person in the back. Add your hands. That's the person in the front. Like I said earlier, when I'm in the front, I'm gonna grab your hands and I'm guiding you through it, but we're going. Okay? Good? So, legs, hands, and grab them and guide them through the path. Make sense? So many people, when they get nervous or their horse acts up, we were just talking about this, they freeze. Again, you're gonna be stuck in the corner. Nobody's actually riding out of it and manipulating out of it. You have to ride to save yourself. Yes? Okay. So, I don't want to go on too long, but I want you guys to take this home. And what I would do, and I'll put this on the page, or else if you guys email me if you want it, I'll send it to you. I don't want to talk too long about this, but I want you guys to take this home, and actually I want you to make copies of it, and make like 5 copies, okay? For both of these, if you look, there's a little code, and it's going to tell you, let's just talk about this one because it's a little bit easier to see, because we went through all of this. Mild is the darker one, good. Moderate is the lighter one, and extreme is the lightest, okay? So go through, and because you think that your horse is 1, but I promise you it's probably not. Good, and that's how you'll find out, like, oh God, they're all of it, or they're a little bit more of 1. And your horse can be 3, good? So just put a dot at how good or bad they are at things, good? And then bring it back, let me know. And you're gonna do the exact same thing for the riding, okay? And this is for riding maneuvers, okay? We'll just keep the video going. Extra credit, we'll just keep the video going. I was gonna make this 2 videos, but that's okay. All right, so we're almost done, but now that you learned how to do all of this with their brain, this is classical, okay? So the Spanish riding school, any classically trained dressage person or just classically trained horseman is gonna know about this. Too many people in the United States don't use their training pyramid. Okay, so long story short, how you work your pyramid is, we'll look at your pyramid right here. It says rhythm, it's the bottom of the pyramid. That is energy and tempo. The ultimate goal is collection. Relaxation is elasticity and suppleness. Connection is acceptance of the bit through acceptance of the aids, okay? Impulsion is increased energy and thrust. So I always tell you guys, power, not speed. So if I tell you, Kelsey knows about this one, if I say medium trot, I'm always gonna say power, not speed, because that is your impulsion, energy and thrust. Straightness, your horse has to be improved alignment and balanced. And the final, if you do all of that together, you can get your horse collected. It's increased engagement, lightness on the forehand, and self-carriage. So, what do we do with this? We'll give you a scenario that all of you guys know. Okay, so let's say that we're going on a 20-meter circle, and I have you doing a medium trot, and I need you to canter. And who's ridden Bravo? Bravo! Good, okay. Okay, who's seen Bravo? Or Rome? Good, okay. We'll get it. Okay, so when you're going around and you've got your horse perfectly collected, and we've worked so hard to like get you round and collected and everything else, and I say, okay, now canter, because we just worked through all of these. And when I say, okay, now canter, and your horse, like we were talking about earlier, drops that shoulder out, like, no, you just froze. Why would I have you do all this work to get them round for you to say, okay, good, now canter, because they fell apart, okay? If their shoulder came out, you can't go forward. You're not gonna be collected because you just lost your straightness. You need to come back. Fix your straightness, you'll be collected, now you can go. Okay, Bravo. He won't go. You're coming around and you're kicking and you're kicking and you're kicking and he won't go. Where's that at on our pyramid? We got him relaxed, we got him collected. Where is that?
Impulse?
Impulsion. We lost our impulsion. So if we worked up this pyramid, okay, Bravo, you're ready to canter, you're collected, you're perfect, and then boom, you lost him, he won't go. Fix that impulsion and you can build back up. Let's see, what other things do you guys do? Okay, relaxation. This one's easy. Every single one of them does it. Let's say arrow. Who's ridden arrow? Okay, we're going round, and all of a sudden we're like major. He's nice, he's quiet, we got him where we want, and then, oh God, something happened, and poof, we lost him. They're crazy. Well, we just lost our rhythm, and we just lost our relaxation. We gotta start all over again. Does that make sense? So you can, for any maneuver, whether it's easy or you all saw the videos of me riding the fancy horse in Pennsylvania, the flying changes. 1 minute, she's coming around and she grabbed the bit. This is when we first started working together. She didn't do this too much in the show. But our first ride, we'd come around, she'd grab the bit and try to take off through the changes where I'm like a little kid. Like, you know, I lost her where? Connection. She laughed on me. So I had to come back, bring her back at the walk, fix all of this, build her back up, and then I got her. Well then, going around the other way, she would suck back, and I would lose her. So does that make sense? So if you watch a lot of videos and do your stuff, I have another video on Patreon members if you scroll down just on the training pyramid. But if you get good at this, this is how I'm my own trainer. How I can jump on all of these horses and figure them out quickly, because I have had years and years and years of working these patterns, and oh, you know, like I can feel it before they do it. And we have a joke that everybody says like, oh man, you make it look so easy. And I laugh and say, well, you make it look so hard, right? Because most of the time, if you guys just kind of did both legs on, both reins on, and supple, that's your horse. What happens, and my mentor Retta and I joke, and we joke in our clinics all the time, and say, what keeps me in business is the fact that you can't remember to keep your outside rein on. Because the minute you come around that corner and you drop that outside rein, boom, straightness, quit all those floating out. Now, bravo, wrong. They're taking off across the arena. They're running your head first to the wall, and it was just because you dropped that outside. Or you pick up a canter and you drop your outside, and now they're zooming around the thing. So for the most part, in all honesty, why I say you make it look so hard is because every time you drop that leg, or you drop this, or you lean here, but for the most part, if you just literally both legs on, both reins, and did this, that would fix 90% of people's problems. Honestly, that's what keeps me in business, is that. Okay, so I'm not going to make you guys read all of this, but this last part is I made this so that people could understand what they're looking for. It's breaking down the dressage levels, and I'll put that on there. So it's like as you grow in the levels, what they're looking for. That as you go in the levels, they're looking for more rhythm, they're looking for more connection, they're looking for this. Make sense? Good. So, I don't know how much time we have, but for our Patreon members, I hope that helped. And sorry I talked so long, but I hope that helped, and we'll see you in the next video.